This evening we begin a series called Shattered Dreams about the ongoing housing crisis. Tonight, correspondent James Rosen reports on the future of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and how that will impact American homebuyers.
We need to wind down Fannie and Freddie and substantially reduce the government's footprint in the housing market.
What's that? The end of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the government-created private firms whose origins trace back to the Great Depression and which have guaranteed long-term fixed-rate mortgages for millions of homeowners? What is the world coming to?
But it's certainly possible that entities that emerge from their wreckage will again play an important role in the housing economy.
The wreckage is the $150 billion taxpayer bailout known as conservatorship, now propping up Fannie and Freddie. Stable for decades, the twin mortgage giants started in the last decade to see their market share in the mortgage securities game being gobbled up by Wall Street banks and hedge fund firms. So Fannie and Freddie joined the bad paper chase and found, when losses piled up and foreclosures abounded, that their cash reserves weren't deep enough to bail themselves out.
We went too far. We allowed people to get loans that they couldn't afford. And there's nothing worse than putting someone in a loan they can't pay. And that is a shattered dream.
Now the Obama administration and House Republicans agree broadly that the era of federal financing for home mortgages must end. But how to get there? The Treasury Secretary has put forward a trio of options for Congress to choose from, including a new government program restricted just to safe mortgages and a special insurance program just for emergencies. But Democrat Luis Gutierrez of Illinois, who sits on the Financial Services Committee, appears unimpressed.
You know what? Secretary Geithner has to come, not to the Brookings. Last time I checked, you know, it was the Congress of the United States that authorized his budget and that has oversight. So, you know, before he goes talk too much to, you know, the think tank groups here in Washington, maybe he should come and talk to the elected members of the House of Representatives.
With private banks still wary of lending, Fannie and Freddie now guarantee 90% of new home mortgages. But with or without them, the bottom line legacy of the last 2 years is that fewer Americans will likely get mortgages. In Washington, James Rosen, Fox News.